Right, so in today's video we're going to be looking at the zooming capabilities with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. And I'm going to be going through each of the resolutions there, starting off in 1080, 2.7K, 4K, and then finally in 8K, just to compare the clarity of the differences there when we're zooming in. When I'm doing any kind of clarity tests, I like to come to Sutton Hoo because as I zoom in and out there, you can see the finer detail in the brickwork. And then I'm going to be picking a subject in the distance, as it's a really bright sunny day today. The background is lit up rather well. So as I've just said, I'll be picking a subject and zooming in and out of that through all the 4 resolutions as well. So let's start zooming in on Sutton Hoo through all the resolutions. Here we go. Now on the Ace Pro 2, to zoom in the bottom right you'll see a ×1 icon. If you just hit that once, it'll punch in twice. Or you can double tap the screen in the middle, and that also punches in twice. Now you'll only be able to do this in 1080, 2.7K and 4K, but when you get to 8K you don't have the option of zooming in. As you can see, there's no ×1 icon and you can't double tap the screen. Now if for any reason you see the ×1 icon is greyed out but you can still see it there, you'll just swipe down, scroll across to the settings icon, hit the general, and all the way at the bottom you'll see clarity zoom. That must be highlighted, and then you'll get your ×1 icon back. So now let's see how that zoom is in 1080 HD. So we'll just tap the ×1 icon and it punches straight in there. So what's the picture clarity look like there? And then we'll zoom straight back in. So that's 1080. Now let's switch over to 2.7K. And now I've switched over to 2.7K. Let's hit that ×1. And do we see any difference there whilst punching in? Again, we're all the way out at 2.7K and now I've punched in twice. Do we see much difference from the 1080? And now I've switched over to 4K. Just going to punch in there. This is where we should see a significant difference, especially from the 1080. So do we see much difference from the 4K to the 2.7K? And I'll back out. So that's ×1. And then again we're going to punch into ×2, and this is in 4K. Do we see much difference there? And now I've switched over to 8K. But on this, as I've said, you'll not be able to zoom in there. As you get prompt, you can't zoom now. So I'm just going to match this up in post against the other resolutions at ×2 there. So did we see much picture clarity differences there whilst zooming in through the resolutions? Now I should hope we see a significant difference with the 8K through the other resolutions. Although you can't double tap the screen or hit the ×1 icon to zoom in there, I'm going to match it up the best I can in post to the others. I should imagine that the 8K wins hands down at the resolution zooming test there. Now I'll find another subject on the horizon to zoom in and out of throughout all the 4 resolutions there. And this is where it's going to get interesting, because when I hit that 8K and then crop in, we should see a significant difference to that 4K. Let's go find a subject. Okay, so I'm just filming on the Ace Pro 2 now. I'm not filming the back of the interface because the sun's behind me and you just cannot see the screen whatsoever there. So I'll just be filming straight through the Ace Pro 2. So just centre frame, there's some warehouses over there. It's about 1.5 miles away. So I'm just going to hit that ×1 icon. We're in 1080 HD. And that's at ×2. And this is in 1080. So centre of the frame, we've got some warehouses. Can you make them out in 1080? And now I've switched over to 2.7K. Again, it's the same subject, centre frame. Hit the ×2 icon. Back to ×1. And now I've switched over to 4K. And can you make them warehouses out, which is centre frame there? And then all the way back to ×1. And now I'm filming in 8K, but I can't double tap the screen or tap that ×1 icon because, as I've shown you before, you don't have that option. So I'm just going to now crop in on post and match it to the other resolutions. Can we see much difference there? So just on the horizon, centre frame there sits Bolsover Castle, and that's exactly 2.2 miles away as the crow flies from my location. So let's zoom in on that throughout the resolutions just to see any differences in clarity there. And now I've switched over to 2.7K. Let's do the same thing. And now this is at ×1 at 4K. And now I'm filming in 8K, but I can't double tap the screen or hit that ×1 icon as I've said earlier. So I'm going to have to zoom in on post here, but this is where you really should see a big difference in this 8K to the other resolutions. Now just centre frame, if you can make that out, lies a white wind turbine. So now I'm in 1080 HD. And again the same tests on the wind turbine there. This is 2.7K. And now I'm filming at 4K. And now I'm filming at 8K. So what do you think to the zooming capabilities on the Insta360 Ace Pro 2? Now clearly that 8K is going to be the clear winner there. Even when you're not zooming in, the picture clarity from the 8K is absolutely phenomenal, to be fair. But it's interesting to do a side-by-side comparison, as you've seen, with that 4K and that 8K. And even though I've rendered this, what you're seeing right now, in 4K Ultra, so the 8K is decompressed a little bit, but you can still really see a difference in the image quality. So do be careful when you're filming in 8K, just for a few reasons there. The camera, especially if it's in summertime, can overheat. The file sizes are gigantic, and whatever type of device you're editing on, it best be a powerful one, because it puts a lot of stress on your computer there. And not many people, including myself, can really see that 8K to its full potential, because I don't have an 8K monitor or an 8K TV, and as I've said, I'm not going to be on my own in that scenario. So in my opinion, especially on these action cameras, just film in 4K, as it really is good enough there. Now is it worth zooming in on all those resolutions there? I wouldn't zoom in with the 1080, as I never film in that anymore, and obviously the picture quality isn't going to be as good as the other resolutions. Now the 2.7K you might get away with depending on what you're zooming into. If it's a close subject, you'll be okay with that one, but I'd always stick to that 4K, and especially the 8K, because as you've seen from the footage, when you crop in, you can see a significant difference to the picture detail. So as always, do stay tuned to the channel, as there's going to be plenty more videos on the horizon. But for now, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and bye for now.